The reimagining of regalias. Currently, I believe regalias are in a tricky spot, because the perks and concepts are cool, but the fact that they're tied to character creation RNG makes it feel bittersweet. This suggestion is aimed to still tie regalias to character creation, but make them both obtainable while still difficult and most likely more rare to see than not. Regalia obtainment should be tied to your previous progression. Your rank ASW on your previous slot should enable you to pick your starter regalia. All are currently in game. A rank, Insightful, Ace of Spades, Inheritance, Inspired, Joker, or Oscillator. S rank, Prodigy, Two-Faced, Noble, and Worth. W rank, Mute, Ancient Soul, and Hungerless. Low-key, this one actually does have mostly X's, but it's about like 50% the ratio of X's to stars, so it's 52 X's to 26 stars. I think this is ass. I think this is stupid, because you mean I have to get W rank per build to get the regalia I want, being Animal King, Ancient Soul, or Hungerless? Are we serious? Like, that's insane. You're like, yeah, dude, you have to go and prog a full W rank build in order to get the really good ones. Or you have to get at least S rank for some of the other ones like Prodigy, which, by the way, making Worth, the legendary boot one, S rank is insane because that one's actually just useless. And I think the reason why this doesn't work out is because of how many of the regalias are just not that good. And even the ones that are good, I think it's better to keep them random than make them obtainable, because then everyone's either going to have them or they're going to be super annoying to get, like getting a W rank slot per build that you want to make. Like, that's so stupid. If anything, I think they would better off be obtainable in a different way if they were made obtainable, but I think it's fine, honestly, the way it is. Hello, and welcome back to another Reaconteur video. In today's video, we're looking at more funny Deepwoken suggestions. We're looking at good ones, we're looking at bad ones, and I'm giving my own takes on them so I can talk about what I think is good or bad, just for the game in general. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, and along with that, I'll be having a new song cover for YouTube members coming out sometime in early August, along with my face reveal, which should be coming out next Saturday, hopefully. Not this coming up Saturday, but next Saturday, which will be my face reveal on the live channel and the Japan video. Oh my god, I'm finally started working on it. Along with that, I'm going to be live at twitch.tv/Reaconteur 20 minutes after this video comes out, so check me out over there if you want to watch me live, because you should, because I have a lot of fun on my lives. So buy a YouTube membership to hear my song covers, and let's get straight into it. Eat Lamaripi. He spelled it wrong. I don't really have anything else to say. I just think you should be able to eat lampreys. Make it like a pufferfish where eating it has dire consequences. Anyways, check out my current world record of Deepwoken lamprey percent where I speedrun fishing a lamprey. What? This might be the most autistic thing I've ever seen in the Deepwoken Discord. I'm not even joking when I say that. Low-key, that's not saying much though, because it's the Deepwoken Discord. This guy has a lamprey fishing speedrun world record, bro. I could probably beat this. Low-key, I might try and beat this. It's like how I used to speedrun Sekiro and I was a top 70 Sekiro speedrunner. I'm sorry. With that being said, this is just a very super useless suggestion that got way too many stars because people thought it was funny. I mean, like, they could add it. It wouldn't really be hard to add. They could genuinely make it in like 10 seconds if the devs felt like it. But I don't know, it's just kind of dumb. Sidearm rework. Pairing daggers are no longer a thing. For now, you'll be able to equip any dagger as a sidearm, now similar to how you do two guns with guns, which allows you to kind of dual wield, not literally of course, meaning I can be drippy with two sanguine transfusers. Having a dagger on your offhand will also allow you to switch the style from parry dagger to throwing knives. Throwing knives lets you use your offhand dagger as a quick, low-damage stun projectile. Fuck no, dude. This would be so annoying. Sorry, I'll keep reading. Throwing knives will have innate knife journey, but not your main weapon. Successful throw also procs the same effects as your side dagger would. Higher keeper can use these dagger stuff in return of not being able to use any other dagger because it already has one. EX. Example, Cerulean Thread applies a thread, works as Hidden Tendril 2. On hit, and when used again, you pull your target towards you, lets you do the second part of the Cerulean crit if it's in your main hand. Higher keeper throwing knives will set fire and also proc Hell's Partisan. Cerulean Knife will make your next lightning assault TP to your target. Frost Thorn throws it offhand like a boomerang and switches your M1s and crits to base dagger till it returns. On gun, you can now style your gun from burst, default side gun, to repeater. Using the repeater style gives you the bullet chamber that's shown on when using one-hand gun and chooses a projectile. This replaces hip shooter. Iron Requiem is offhand will shoot its crit in the last bullet. Repeater shortens the CD between shots but has less damage. Offhands can be equipped without having the wreck but will still follow the damage reduced when under the wreck. For legendary weapons, you need to be at least 20 points in the attunement to have an offhand. This might be one of the first ever terribly balanced suggestions I've seen get this many stars. It has 48 stars and only 2 X's, but honestly, I completely disagree with this one. I don't want a dagger gun buff, okay? This is also buffing stuff like the dumbass Pyre Keeper. You think I want a Pyre Keeper gun and dagger buff? No, absolutely not. I don't think this would be... I think it's cool. I think it is really cool. Like, it could be cool. But first of all, giving dagger users a pressure tool at range that's not a mantra that they can just use like that, just having that, just being able to throw your knives like that would be so annoying, and it would just make light just the worst thing ever. Light double dagger would just become the newest meta until this gets nerfed. And even then, just having like certain effects on it, like Hidden Tendril or the Cerulean Thread, is really not a good idea. I think it's cool, but I don't think this would work well in the actual game for balance reasons, and I would hate to see it every single game of Chime. The problem with named weapons. Why? Named weapons can take hundreds of hours of grinding to obtain. Because they're so difficult to get, they're intentionally made much stronger than regular weapons to justify the grind and rarity. To compensate for that power, they disappear on death. First of all, it punishes the players who actually spent time to obtain them. Competitive advantages should come from players' skill and builds, not from being lucky. Rework. Instead of making named weapons way stronger than everything else, give them stats comparable to normal weapons of their category, let players keep them after death, keep them unique through visuals, especially critical attack, unique visual effects, animation, sound effects, or other cosmetic features. They would become like trophies instead of stupidly broken weapons. This is already a thing, and it works well. The Golden Swordfish has the same stats as Crucible Rapier, but it has unique appearance and critical attack, and I think named weapons should work in a similar way. Rare stuff are cool, but not when they give PvP advantage. Yeah, I actually agree with this one. This goes back to Agamatsu's whole philosophy on rare equals fair. Sorry, I was like halfway through a yawn there. Basically, the way Agamatsu sees it is that if something is rare and not a lot of people have it, then it's allowed to be stronger because it's less of a problem if less people are using it. When in reality, it's probably more of a problem because now the disparity between those people who have it and the people who don't have it is way higher than it would be otherwise. So I don't really see it. I don't see it, Aga. I'm sorry, Amagusto. I don't see it. I actually agree with this. I think that the named weapons should mostly be cosmetics, but it's fine, I guess, as it is for now. I don't think it's necessarily the hugest problem because everything eventually becomes more common, but it could definitely change it up a bit. Add a cooldown to the new air counter. I don't even need to read this one. It's just, you know, air counter. People spam it. It's so stupid. I don't understand how the devs were like, huh, the old air counter was uppercuts, which do in fact have an innate cooldown and a little end lag. And then they're like, yeah, let's add a new air cooldown. And then they're like, hey, let's add a new air counter. And then they just don't have any of the old things that the old one had to like keep it balanced with the uppercuts. Like, that was so stupid. I don't understand how they let this happen. The problem with regalias. This suggestion is about Agamatsu's last poll on regalias and why making them compy is a problem. I don't even need to read this one either. I don't understand why Agamatsu was like, hey man, let's just make compy regalias. And he's like, do you guys want to see compy regalias? So like competitively viable PvP buff or PvE buff regalias. And no, why the fuck would we want that, Agamatsu? Why would anyone want that? Regalias are literally random in game right now. They are completely random right now. Nobody knows how to obtain them because you can't just obtain them. You just either get them or you don't. Why would we want randomness in just like PvP or PvE buffs? That's stupid. That's just dumb. Let's not do that. New regalias. Context, there need to be more regalias in the game. I personally believe that regalias should affect progression / outside of combat. Exactly, they should not have effects on combat. Anyway, the first one is Renowned Trader. 50% chance to get double the notes when selling any item. Can't proc for the next 3 items you sell if this occurs. No infinite notes. Honestly, I don't like that. Like, what do you mean it can't proc for the next 3 items? So if I sell a piece of shit and it sells for 50% more, and then I can't get it on 2 things that are worth a lot, like, that's stupid, honestly. Can trade with any merchant despite faction reputation. Artifacts are worth double notes. Your notes increase by 5% every IRL day. EX have 1,000 notes. 1 day pass is now 1050. So you get a high yield savings account in Deepwoken. That one, honestly, let's not have that, because then someone's gonna get like an alt with that and just put 10,000 notes on that, and then it's gonna be insane. They're just gonna be farming notes for doing nothing. Note cap on character is now 30,000. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. That's kind of cool, actually. All items costing crowns are reduced by 10% price. Crown transfer rate is increased, with 1 crown being 2,500 notes or 10 knowledge. Then we have Grand Fisherman. Reeling in catches is 2x faster. Bites are 2.5x more common / faster. All specific fish items are sold for 15 times more notes. No knowledge cap on reeling in golden fish. Reeling in golden fish gives 1 crown as well. That's insane. What? Bait is 3 times more effective. Chests reeled in will double the loot, as if you reeled up 2 different chests at once. Superstar. When talking to NPCs that you have a neutral or above rep with, they will have lines as if you are a celebrity, asking for autographs and praising your work. That's fun. When attempting to use a dancing emote that you are already using, summon backup dancers to dance beside you. These backup dancers will be from the faction you have the most rep with, 4 max backup dancers. People are able to act as your backup dancers by joining your emote by holding the interact button. Allies only. Completing jobs wields 2x rep gain. Having "you'll need to get past me" talent with this regalia causes it to instead spawn a backup dancer as well as the original NPC. The dancer will choose a random emote to do, then they'll play a random segment of a random song at the start of the fight for 10 seconds. They also disappear after 10 seconds. The random music they play should preferably be that of a boss's to show your aura at the start of a fight. I think this one's really fun. I really like when games have little, like, random things like this that really don't have much benefit to them, but they're just kind of fun. Like, just having to be able to get backup dancers and the NPCs start talking to you like you're a celebrity and stuff like that. Like, I really wish more games would add fun things like that, because I feel like it's kind of a lost art, you know? Like, I remember Rogue Lineage had some stuff like that, just with random, like, character interactions and stuff. Deepwoken doesn't really have much like that. Most Roblox games nowadays don't really have stuff like that. Stuff like that's a lot of fun, and I want to see more of it. Oh, Discord roles. This guy wants new Discord roles. No, I hate the Discord server. I hate the Deepwoken Discord. No more Discord roles. Buffs to make regalias stronger. This one's gonna be bad. It has 69 X's. Nice. I believe most regalias should be stronger and more important than they currently are. Yeah, totally. The whole completely RNG random buff should be stronger. Great idea. Ancient Soul. Gain a Yunshul wish every year. Every year your depths escape resets. Ancient Soul might be the worst regalia in the game. You get 6 Yunshul wishes, but that isn't very good. You get those wishes anyways, either through idols or layer 2. He's not wrong, but the entire point is that you shouldn't have an inherent major buff from regalias because they're random. Getting a Yunshul wish every year, that's every 4 days. You're telling me I could just hop on and reroll my bell till I get an ancient one like 3 times every 2 weeks? That's kind of insane. Oscillator. Increase how much points your bell can have by 25%. That's just insane. Like that, first of all, that would cause some crazy broken interactions with certain bells. Like someone's gonna get like a crazy bell due to this, just because of how the point RNG system works with bells. Someone's gonna get like max points plus 25%, and then they're just gonna get the most broken version of any bell ever, and it's just a completely random chance. Stupid. Worthy. After interacting with the legendary boot, you gain access to the old leather boot and gloves as a style. The style resets if you take off the boots or gloves. I think Worthy should be a useless cosmetic regalia. So, do you think Worthy is, you know, the only one that should be useless and cosmetic, but then you're gonna make Oscillator the most broken thing ever, potentially? Great. Two-Faced. Buying an Origin active gives you that Origin's passive and secondary abilities. Additionally, Two-Faced can now be used with every Origin. Two-Faced is somewhat weak and underpowered on Voidwalker. It should be accessible to every Origin and be stronger. It's underpowered on Voidwalker, so it should be stronger. How about fuck Voidwalkers? Inspired. Gives the player an extra wildcard mantra slot. An extra wildcard slot can be really strong, but not too impactful. This does come at a trade-off of losing out on 2 talents if you decide to use the wildcard mantra slot. What? No, that's just an extra mantra for no reason. That's stupid. These are all really bad suggestions, except for the Worthy one, which is the only reasonable one. I just think that, like, specifically Oscillator, just like that one is, like, crazy. Oh, here's another regalia buff one. Let's see, Joker, receive the 3 talent hands from Compassion, Bravery, Curiosity quest in your 5th power-up level, whatever. Prodigy, become able to use equipment 5 levels below the requirement. That's not that bad. Worthy, bypass level restrictions on equipment and quests. So you just have no level restrictions for anything? I guess that would work, honestly. For a second, I thought it was like equipment level thing, and then it was like, what? Like you could just like use like a 60-point equipment at 0, but no, it's fine. Ancient Soul, Oscillator, Inspired, gain an additional free Yunshul wish. Maybe also gets an extra depths escape. And Noble, it takes twice as many hits to aggro guard NPCs. See, these ones are fine buffs because they're small and they don't really make a difference at max level. If your regalia buff would make a difference to a build once it's power 20, it shouldn't exist. Hybrid talents. The current hybrid talents for Shadow Gale, Thunderblood are pretty boring, so why not suggest new ones? Ether Siphon, sorry. 50 Gale Breath and 50 Shadowcast. Shadowcast mantras will drain significantly more ether from suffocated enemies. Additionally, Gale mantras will have slightly shadow scaling. Chematic Arc, 50 Blood, 50 Thunder. While you have over 15 temporary health, your Thundercall mantras chain lightning to all nearby enemies. This effect has a 1.5-second cooldown. 1.5-second cooldown for just straight 100% group AoE damage. That's insane. Well, you have over 15 temporary health. People are just gonna start making gank builds that spec out for temporary health. Thematic Arc would be crazy cheese as a talent. Let's not add that. That's a terrible one. Don't release this Dread Serpent model, or any similar shape if this is how it looks. Make it longer. Fan artist rendition attached as a second image. So here's the original. They're saying don't release this, make it longer. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as usual. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to buy a YouTube membership if you want to hear my monthly song covers. Any tier can listen, even the bottom tiers, of course. You guys can all listen to my song covers if you just buy a YouTube membership, and I put a lot of time and effort into them. I've gotten way better at mixing my music, so they sound a lot better now. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed regardless. And check out my live channel on Twitch at twitch.tv/Reaconteur, where I will be live 20 minutes after this video went up. I know, right? Crazy. Which is probably sometime after you're watching this right now, so go check me out at Twitch. Anyway, shout out to my YouTube members of Tier 2 or higher: Philip, Akio Sugikuni, Zerksky, Fun Guns, Crypto, Broccoli, Delusional Mo, Dev, Suited Wendigo, Love You, Abrowski, Hey It's Silos, Bunny Masher, Freshi, Theo's Banners, Corin, Captain Frost, and Drizzy Drake Fan. Hope you all have an amazing day, and goodbye.